Hi, and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video, we're going to be talking through the New Zealand yen as we could be looking for opportunities to the upside. So, why are we really looking at New Zealand yen long? So, we had the strength meter this week tell us that the New Zealand dollar is starting to strengthen in the market and the Japanese yen is starting to weaken. So the yen is this white line here. It came up into these highs. Now usually when a currency comes up into the highs on my strength meter, I like to look for reversals in the market, and you can see why I do that, because the last few pairs or currencies that have come up into the highs here have reversed their strength. And that was, so for instance, this was the US dollar, where we saw lots of weakness coming into the market, which has kind of continued. We had the pound here, which weakened to the downside. We had New Zealand dollar, which weakened lower in the short term, as well as now the Japanese yen. Now you've got to remember, these are weeks going by here, okay? So it was a matter of weeks where we saw a bit of downside to those currencies. And it's likewise when price comes down to the bottom of the currency strength meter. That's when I really start to take focus on a particular currency, and I like to look at what's going against it in terms of strength. So if I bring in the other strength and weakness chart as well from my other screens, you can see here, why am I really looking at Kiwi yen? Now we talked about pound yen in the week ahead analysis video, so if you want to go check that out after this video, you can do. But the New Zealand dollar was one of the stronger currencies last week alongside the pound, and you can see here yen, CAD being the weaker currencies. So I want to be looking for yen weakness in the market, especially because it's come from that extreme level and is starting to move to the downside. So that's why I'm looking for yen weakness. Now Kiwi getting stronger, like I just said. However, we are coming into a little bit of resistance now. So I have been looking to long Kiwi against the yen, and looking for those technical outlooks. Now we can see that price has been in a range between the 80 spot 75 handle and the 87 spot 50 handle. At the moment we're in the middle of the range. So if you've been watching the strength meter week on week and you saw that the yen was getting weaker and you saw that Kiwi yen was coming into these lows here, you could have had an early jump and starting to look for those long positions. Now if we have a little look at the lower time frame, so the daily time frame for instance, you can see, like I said, prices coming up into these previous swing highs here, which is around about the 85 level on Kiwi yen in particular. So if I just kind of move this zone up here, this is where I think price may find a little bit of a sticking point, and this is where I'd like to see price trade out of. So if we could trade above this area here, come back in, maybe we could start looking for some long positions. Or alternatively, if price starts to pull back a little bit, maybe come back down towards sort of the lows that have been created where we had that kind of key demand coming into the market, maybe we could look for some longs from there. But ideally I'd like to see price trade above this previous high around about that 85 level, just to convince me that buyers are going to be active above this area. You can see that 87.50 would be likely targets because it was this high that formed back in December. So that's what I'm looking to target. If we can trade out of this area, that would be the good area to look for your targets on Kiwi yen. If I go into the hourly today, or even actually a little bit lower into the 30-minute time frame today, there were some really good momentum moves out of this. So if you were watching it from a lower time frame perspective, had a really nice pin candle coming into previous structure highs in and around this area here this morning. Price then traded out of that, came back down, retested that area of demand, and we've shot back up to the upside. So if you managed to catch any of the movements today as well from an intraday perspective, prices come into a couple of areas of demand and continued to rally further. So we'll see how price reacts. I do expect a reaction in and around this area. If I just zoom out on this 4-hour time frame, you can see why I'm expecting a reaction around this area. Every time we've come up into here, the sellers have defended it quite aggressively. So I want to see sellers sort of remove themselves from this area. I want to see maybe even a consolidation and a continuation. That would be even sort of better, having sellers getting absorbed here by the buyers, and then buyers taking prices above the 85 would be a good signal of further upside. So keep your eye on that one. Definitely want to keep your eyes on in the next coming days, maybe even sort of going into the early part of next week as well. But keep your eye on this one for this week. If we can trade above 85, could open up options up to 87.50. Hope you enjoyed this video update. If you did, leave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more Forex trading content. I'll speak to you in the next video.